Father has criticised a Hampshire school for calling in police after his son looked at a UKIP website and a video from the English Defence League in class. Mick Taylor says it was inappropriate for the police to ask his 15-year-old son whether he was a UKIP activist. The force says it had a duty to respond to the school's concerns. Here's our Home Affairs correspondent Emma Vardy.
After seeing news coverage of a march by the far-right English Defence League in Luton last year, Mick Taylor says his son viewed a video of the group online, and that after discussions in school, his son looked up the UK Independence Party website. This week, Mick Taylor says he received a call asking him to come into school while his son was spoken to by police.
The first website that had been flagged was UKIP, and my immediate response was, say that again. UKIP. I said, that's a political party 4 million people voted for. And he said, no, it's been flagged. And they said, but your son also accessed an EDL site. But then it returned back to UKIP. The police asked my son what his beliefs were in UKIP and why he would get involved in UKIP. And I said, there's nothing wrong with those views. They're quite normal views. But you've made us out to be some sort of... I don't know, you made me feel like a terrorist, sort of. That's how I felt.
Mick Taylor says neither he nor his son have ever been involved with the EDL or violence. In a statement, Wilden School told us, following an incident in class where the student was viewing a range of different sites, we called 101, the police non-emergency number, for advice and were referred to a specialist team. The decision to pursue the matter further was not made by the school. The police requested a meeting with the student and their parent.
I think if my son had been accessing regularly, I'm sure they would have been, you know, I would have concerns myself, and like I said, I would have kicked his backside myself. But it's a one-off incident, and I don't think it merited like an extreme section of the police coming in.
Today, the UKIP education spokesman reacted angrily to the suggestion that their site may have been flagged up alongside concerns about the EDL.
I don't know how you can be extremist when you've got 22 MEPs, you've got a Member of Parliament, 3 Lords, 500 councillors all over the country, 40,000 members and the third biggest political party in Britain. We're certainly not extremist.
But the Hampshire Police and Crime Commissioner said the force had legitimate reasons for their actions.
If we have a situation where a young person is known to have accessed extreme websites, seeking information, which young people do, it is right that both of them should look into it. And I'm quite confident that Hampshire Constabulary don't go into this sort of thing with a heavy-handed approach.
Mick Taylor agrees that EDL is a group he'd discourage his son from getting involved with. But to be questioned about UKIP, he believes was a step too far.
Let's join Emma. She's outside Wilden School tonight. Was the school right, Emma, to involve the police in this matter?
Well, Sally, under the new Counter-Terror Act, schools have a duty by law to prevent children being drawn into terrorism. Now, that means staff are asked to identify children who may be vulnerable to the influence of extremism, and Hampshire Police's Prevent team receives a number of referrals in this way. Now, police say this work is about safeguarding children. They say it's not about interrogating them or criminalising them. Hampshire Police told us today the school contacted us in good faith and in accordance with their safeguarding procedures and said they have a duty to respond to these concerns. Well, the school says the matter is now closed, but as we heard, the pupil's father feels that in this instance he believes it was over the top. Sally.
Emma, thank you.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.